We are live from TCA 2024. My name's Nate Johnson, and this is...
I'm Robert Bain, Strongest Man in Logistics. What up, Internet?
I am happy to bring two legends from the industry. We have, first off, are you guys hearing the audio here?
Yeah, okay. We hear fine.
All right, perfect. So I'm not catching it through my mics, but there we go. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Playing here.
So we have two legends from the industry here too. And so first off, I've not really been formally introduced to one of these two legends, but I've known about them for my entire, well, at least half of my entire career, which my career has been fairly long. So I'm really happy to have you guys here. Once again, legends of the industry, Jack Porter and Shepard Dunn, and they're here representing the TCA Profitability Program TCA Profitability Program.
Yep.
Got it right. I tongue-tied. A program that we've worked with a little bit over the last year or so. Jack, why don't you take it off here first? Tell us a little about yourself and your history and kind of how you came into the profitability program. I think you kind of came into it before TCA as well, right? Or am I thinking wrong?
Putting it succinctly, just around the truckload side of this is, I was a truck dealer involved in 20 groups in the dealer world. Been around for 20 years. We started a startup for consulting and software. Came to the TCA, bid on the benchmarking program for their program. Put it together in 2002 or so. Kicked it off. Started putting groups together in 2003. Like I told many people, I love the process, love the program. But in the dealer world, everybody's sort of segmented by territory. In the carrier world, there is no territory. So the reality of how long this thing lifespan was going to be was my over-under was 6 months. Here we are 22 years later. It has a lot to do with the members, the sharing, and the interaction with regard to trying to make it better. I mean, this industry is pretty fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
And the we-they scenario between shippers and carriers has always been a battle. Usually the carriers are usually on the slippery end of that stick, so especially like right now. So anything we can do to try and make our costs better, but try and get to the point that we're sharing ideas and best practices. It's been very successful for the last 22 years.
So you call them 20 groups. Is there a particular reason that you call them 20 groups?
They gave birth out of the ATD, or the truck dealers and car dealers, where they put 20 dealers together. I still run a couple 20 groups, which has now been like 4 dealers with about 70 locations.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's consolidated, which is pretty interesting. It's not consolidating the transportation business much. But right now, we have anywhere from probably 10 to 12, 13 carriers in every one of the groups.
Awesome. That's awesome. Typically, do you have a size of carrier that you're working with there? Is there?
We work with different sizes, and we've got some very large carriers in. We've got some smaller carriers. Usually, it's about 100 trucks and above. And now we're working on programs that could be spread deeper into the smaller carrier, the TCA smaller carriers, and people that want to try and use benchmarking and best practices to grow. We always had a challenge between kind of mode, refrigerated van, flatbed, specialized, all sort of in that. We've got a tanker division. Shepard started a tanker, and we have brokerage groups too. So the asset-based guys, brokerage groups that Shepard is kind of a phenomenon we put together 5 years ago.
Great. Well, that's a perfect segue over to Shep. Shep, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, so Shepard Dunn, former trucker. Jack brought me off the sidelines a while back, and he told me years ago, I was in one of his groups. He told me, you really ought to be doing this one day. You'd be really good at it, And I was on the sidelines one time. He called and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing."
Trucking?
Yeah, trucking. So we got that worked out, and so I've been doing it about 4 years now. And the short of it is that I manage 7 groups right now, and all modes. So 2 van groups, 1 refrigerated, 1 tank, 1 flatbed, and 2 brokers. Okay, and they range in size from 50 trucks to 1,500. Whatever the number is. It's a tough time in trucking right now, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard. And so these guys are having to get a lot more creative and finding ways to pick up some shekels, that's left over. And what I find is that the companies that are more successful are the ones that are flexible. The ones that are willing to change and do something different, get out of their comfort zones, and those are the ones typically that are winning.
No, that's very true. That's our customer base as well. Everybody's struggling. I think those that work together. We talk a lot about about partnerships. I mean, that's the core of it, right? They're opening maybe not their books, but their processes and their ideas together.
And their resources too. It's a huge thing. Is to have. Right here, there's a significant amount of experience across the industry. You pool resources together, and you're much stronger than each individual by themselves.
I'll tell you what, I've been around this thing for 40 years. With my dealership, my partner was a trucker, and for the last year and a half, 2 years, I've never seen it so bad.
Right.
And I think what's interesting to me is that in everything we've done over the last with the sort of the hits we've taken. I mean, we're measuring their benchmarks, and we've got gross margins probably been cut in half in the last 18 months.
Absolutely.
And then we've got revenue per truck, et cetera. This kind of staying pretty stable, but when it's all said and done, our expenses have risen absorbently. And the problem is with the whole situation we're in now, we're still looking at higher equipment costs and other things are coming down the pipe. Then we have a 27 EPA scenario that's going to hit our equipment scenario. And we have electrification. We have all the government influences going on. It's a battle. It really is a battle. And I'm one of those guys that I wasn't born into trucking. And I freaking hate consultants until I became one.
You and I both.
We love you too.
But when you look at this industry, how hard they are, how passionate they are about what's going on, and I see what the numbers are, you kind of wonder. You kind of wonder the viability of this industry.
Right.
Very valid.
Absolutely right there with you. You look at trucks, how they've doubled the numbers or more over the last 10 years. The fuel economy, not only the fuel prices, but the fuel economy of the trucks, the yo-yo we've seen there, and how fleets are having to mitigate that, the price of trailers, the driver pay,
Insurance
costs, and accidents, and just everything has gone up, yet rates haven't followed at the same.
Right.
The same.
I mean, you're in a scenario, and every one of our groups is bound by the safeguards for antitrust and stuff. But there's only one thing on a trucker's mind today: higher rates.
Yeah, right.
And it's not necessarily gouge rates. It's just a matter we need to make up what we lost in the last 18 months, and what we're looking forward to going forward. My dealer groups are telling me, this new engine EPA engine's we don't know what the price is, but it's not going to cheap.
Can you talk about that regulation? So someone may not know what that is. Can you talk about that a little bit?
27, the EPA's got a new engine. They got two versions they got to go through. You got to get down to a certain NOx level. All the engine manufacturers, et cetera, and the OEs are built their own engines. They're trying to get to that number. 27 is going to be the year that they're going to start doing it. So pre-buy. There's an article in TPS that sort of said that the private fleets are already doing some pre-buy, so they don't have to try and buy much of 27. Yeah. We've gone through this thing a freaking million times, and nothing works out good for the carrier. Right. And then I don't know if you saw what was really interesting to me is the last Clean Truck Association.
Right.
It's $1 trillion, and the truckers are supposed to take 600 billion. That should be fun.
So truckers are, make sure I hear that right. Truckers are supposed to absorb 600 billion of that hit for the new infrastructure for the clean trucking.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas everybody else is then going to try to spread that around and push it back down to them anyway.
Yeah, but maybe the administration's going to send us a coupon for $300,000 if you buy it.
Be really nice.
Right.
Just say you're from Ukraine. It's fine.
Exactly.
We'll edit that part out. Sorry, marketing.
So, so we're wrapping up on time, but the one thing I would say with you guys, anytime as I was sitting here talking with you, this is something I speak about all the time. So somewhere down the road, I would absolutely love to come back to you and sculpt out more of a full episode around pricing, around the cost-based scenarios that carriers struggle with on a day-to-day basis. I've run fairly large fleets in my background. I went to the dark side of technology in 2011, but we help our customers mitigate those expenses through process enablement, through streamlining processes, through technology selection and whatnot. So we're very aware of what you guys do, and we're very aware of the customers that you do work with or your client base. And I never heard one of your clients say, "Man, I don't like the program."
Well, I will tell you, Nate, that Shepard's a perfect example of that. I mean, that the carriers inside the program make it successful. It's not us. I mean, what they share and how they go through it. It's a freaking tough business. When people ask me, I'm the perceived expert. And say, why aren't you keep trucking? So you're kidding me? It's way too hard.
Yeah.
And if you had one thing to tell some of the folks out there to listen in that and watching about, what the next 18 months might look like. Obviously, all of us are looking at our crystal ball and trying to predict, right? What should carriers that are either part of the program or not part of the program be looking for to get that little edge on the profitability side?
That's a tough answer. But generally speaking, what I tell them, and I think the smart guys know, is they got to prepare today for what's going to happen tomorrow, right? What are you doing now in these downtimes to get ready so that when the market does change, I don't know about flip, when it changes, are you ready to go?
Yes.
And so the devil's in those details, right now as we speak. And it works the same way. During COVID, when we're very busy, and what are you working on then? When the recession comes back, because trucking is very simple.
It's all cycle.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the companies that are going to win are the companies that are preparing for what's going to happen in the future.
Stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
Exactly.
I would tell you I'm a little bit more bullish. Shep comes from running companies and gone through these cycles and lived it.
Right.
I have not. I've floated above it. But in my mind, I sincerely believe that we got capacity starting to fall out. We don't measure very well. We can't capture very well.
Right.
And we're still living through the hangover of the pandemic. We had all sorts of crazy things happen during the pandemic of overpriced used trucks and regional banks getting involved. And we just had a capacity problem. We had people that made a lot of money in 2 years that were waiting for the rebound to happen. We have not equalized yet.
Right.
And I really believe if you look at sort of the tea leaves of what I look at, I think we've at least bottomed out. The problem with it is we've got so much gross profit erosion in our market and thus ORs below or above 100 that are, and these are really good carriers. So, it's a privately held group of folks that try and make this thing happen, that compete on a day-to-day basis. A 9,000 truck fleet would compete with a one truck fleet with a broker. So the business model is a little flawed, but I really believe there's the tea leaves are showing at least a solidification of it, and I really believe February was a friggin' mess, but I really believe if this thing turns around, it could turn around and hurt.
I agree.
Let's hope that it does, and sooner than later.
I keep telling people that hope's not a strategy, but I'm hoping too.
At this point, we might as well try it because it's been a long 18 months, hasn't it, fellas?
It's almost 2 years now.
Gross.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long downturn. Jack, where can people find you at?
It's usually Jack P at truckload.org or Shep's the same thing at Truckload.
Shepard at Truckload.
Anything on LinkedIn or X or anything like that? Or
You can
find us.
LinkedIn. I've got my own sort of LinkedIn site,
Mhm.
not connected to TCA because I get a little controversial. So
Oh, I'll be connected with you after this, Jack.
Yeah, Bain's all about controversial. So
we'll
It's his
be
thing.
kindred spirit.
We'll have fun. We'll have fun. Hey, cheers, fellas.
Cheers, guys.
So-
Thanks for
I
having
don't
us.
have
Good
anything
show.
to
Appreciate it.
I guess here we go. So thank you for coming.
You bet.
Well, that was great.
It was.
Yeah. It's been a good show so far.
Yeah.
One swear
I
word.
got to
Thanks,
wander
guys.
Yeah.
around.
Well
Yeah,
done.
no
Appreciate
swear
you.
words. Appreciate it. Well, we'll see you around the show. Thank you.
Right, Nate,
Uh,
be good.
Yeah, I'll
Hey,
try. To be
we can't
good. I'll
promise
try
that
to
now.
be good, but we'll see you soon. So, yeah, it's been a good show. We was able to walk around a little bit.
Yeah, got a couple laps in.
Yeah.
Already saw some people. We've
Yeah.
been connecting. So I was very excited. I saw some old coworkers from CRST last night. So excited to reconnect with them. I believe we've got our next guest.
We
up.
do. We can swing them on up. Let's get them to eat the mic.
Let's get them in, gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome.
So, hey guys, I'll do fist bumps because I don't think we can reach for shake. So,
Everybody's going to hear me set them up. So.
yep.
All right.
So, I think we're sitting about 14, 15.
Right in here is about
TCA.
Right
So
in
good
there.
side.
Yep.
Yep,
It's going
and
to pick up here. It's going to pick up over there.
Oh, perfect.
If you need to adjust spindles here. So,
Yep.
all right. But eat the mics.
Eat the mic.
Yes. Eat the mic.
I like
Eat the
it.
mic.
We can market that.
Yeah.
Eat the mic.
Except with Solars and Turner here, we can't
That
say
is true.
that.
We don't want to say that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
They might actually eat the mic. So,
Yes.
yeah, fair
Yes.
enough. All right. So we have a couple gentlemen here from Pedigree Technologies. John Elsner, the CEO.
Hi there.
Hello.
Speak to
And Rocco Marrari. So Rocco and I go back just a couple of years.
Only a couple. Not too long.
So glad to have you guys on the show. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thanks, Nate.
It's Sunday evening here at TCA 2024.
Yep.
We're kind of kicking off the show. We just had a couple of icons from the industry on, so that's a great way to launch the show. You guys,
Because we have to follow that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
so
I
don't
was,
screw it up.
I know. I
that's
know.
exactly where I was going.
Lots of pressure.
I set you up poorly, I think. So my apologies. But we'll do these in segments, so we'll clip it out later.
Okay,
so it won't
perfect.
matter.
Perfect.
So sorry about that.
That's
but,
okay.
So let's start this off. We're just giving a little bit of time for you to tell us about yourself, tell us about your company, how TCA resonates with you. So
Sure.
let's go to John here first. So John, tell us about yourself. Tell us about Pedigree.
Well, that's great to be on here. I live in San Diego, and I go to Pedigree,
San Diego.
and I go to Pedigree every other week in Fargo, North Dakota. So one might wonder why.
San Diego to Fargo.
Yeah. Well, just wait. This is good.
Okay,
This
I
is
want to
good.
hear this. I want to hear this.
One might wonder why I would spend the end of my career doing that, going to Fargo. And it's not because I don't love my wife. I do love her dearly, but they were Pedigree was a customer of mine. And I joined them about 3 years ago. And then about a year and a half ago, I became the CEO. And so one of the things that attracted me about them is they have one of the best engineering groups I've worked with in my career, period. And they are in the telematics space, and they compete. One of the few companies in that space that don't take money or organically grown. We've been in business 20 years. And it's exciting to work with a company that has great customer service and great engineering. And I have to turn around the sales and marketing and try to figure out who they are. And
All right.
so we have some new ideas about who we are. And we basically are crafted telematics. The whole idea is that you can go get Budweiser, or maybe you want to get a crafted beer. And so
Craft beer all day.
Craft beer.
See?
Yeah.
so that's kind of the approach. And then Rocco's just joined us, and so he's a great fan of TCA, and so he can tell a little bit about himself because I'm glad to have him on board here.
Baton to Rocco.
Oh, there we go. Well, I've been in the industry now well over 9-10 years. Started over at EB Technologies. We all know that. And, transitioned here. It's a great company. They're very forward thinking. That's what I really, really like. We're always one step ahead, much like TCA. If you come to TCA, walk around the floor. What do you see? You don't see what we had 5 years ago,
Right.
4 years ago, 3 years. You see what we're going to have in a year, in 2 years.
Mhm.
TCA is forward thinking. That's where Pedigree came from. We're looking ahead. So you always want to take that next step and be 2 steps ahead And that's what TCA brings to everybody within the industry. All the carriers here come for one reason, to see what's out there, what the next best thing is,
Right.
what the next best, innovation is, safety tactics, whatever it may be. Somebody like TCA brings that, and we all can sit there together and learn from that.
Awesome.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
how long have you been coming to TCA?
10 years.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Awesome. Is this first time, John?
Yeah, I've been second time.
Second time. Okay.
I'm a
I mean,
little
you're
bit
big
newer.
T, so I assume maybe.
Yeah. I lost all my stuff yesterday, and I haven't replenished it. So I need. To
Well,
go
I've got
back
mine.
I'm an old timer. I'm an old timer
Diva.
now.
and-
I like that.
Hold on,
I like
hold on.
that.
What does yours say?
Mine says Diva
Yeah, that's so.
because I love attention, and that's
That's okay. You are the strongest man in transportation.
in logistics. To be
Yeah,
very clear,
logistics.
it is logistics, and I have to clarify that because there is one stronger in transportation.
Oh.
Dan Bell, I love you, bud. Always make sure you get all the credit you deserve. This is a guy who can squat 1,100 pounds and just knee wraps in a belt, so I give him all the credit in the world. Also a good friend of mine. So Dan, love you, bud.
Gotcha. Circling back on what Rocco said, last year the attendance to this event was sub 1,000,
Yes.
and the attendance this year is 1,500. So substantial growth, especially on the truckload side.
Yes.
I saw a lot of energy this year. I would say we're a little low on the carrier side this year, but that's probably due to our friendly market.
It is.
But overall, the energy here is good. We're seeing some real positive things. There's a lot of partnership discussions, and at the last minute, I think we're seeing a lot of people pop up. So what's your guys' initial assessment on this particular conference at the moment?
I can tell you from my perspective, this is my third or fourth of the year already. It's in line with what we've seen. It's a trend. So we have seen the carrier side down for the most part, but in return, the quality has been much, much better. So the people that are here want to be here. So if you look at it from that perspective, you don't have people attending just to come and then go on vacation. The people who are attending because they want to learn. They want to see what's out there and what can benefit them as the carrier. So what can bring us more profits? How can we be a safer carrier? That's why they're here. They're not here now just to go on Broadway and have a good time. They're here to learn. Now, we're going to have a good time. That's what we do in transportation.
That's how we get down.
But the ones that are here, what I've seen over the past few that I've attended this year is there is a really strong group that wants to learn and wants to bring that back to their carrier.
I think I agree with you. I think one of the things that is a learn from 2020 and that time frame is it's no longer just work far, play hard.
Right.
It's work hard, play hard. So you see people like, you're right. We're gonna have a good time while we're here. We're gonna see friends and see peers. But it's really about how do I maximize value out of the money I'm spending while I'm here?
You're here for a reason.
Yep,
Exactly.
100%.
That's transportation, 100%. Work hard, probably play harder. I would say.
That's okay.
That's 100% transportation. So we own that.
Yes.
We own that in a loud way.
And we own it proudly. Very, very proud.
And everybody knows that. And everybody's accepting of that. That's what. So I look at transportation as a big family.
Mhm.
It's a very small big family. Is the best way I can put it.
How do you say, Nate? It's the smallest big industry out there?
Exactly.
Yes.
100%.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're picking up on my stuff.
I know. I'm picking up your one-liners too.
Yeah. So that's what's yours? I did cardio. I did speak
Yes.
Spanish.
So if anybody ever mentions what do you do for cardio, talk about power.
Yeah.
It's I don't speak Spanish.
So that's one of my things. So where is Pedigree headed next? So we talked about where it's you're the craft beer.
Craft beer of telematics. John?
Well,
So-
yeah, one of the things that's sort of interesting about this space is that other than the OEMs and what they do on, come out with, everything else that hits the space is all consumer technology,
Mhm.
whether it's cameras, whether it's AI, whether it's Bluetooth, whether it's the price of data, everything we touch today. So it's a very interesting place to see what's coming up. We love to offer new things, and we don't make any of our hardware. So our distinction here is that we can be very nimble and very aggressive about finding the latest technologies because we don't have to be the experts.
Right.
There are trade-offs. It's really if you think about it, there are trade-offs if people make their own hardware, their own devices. You get a little more control, a little more profit. But on the other hand, you're stuck in an 8-year cycle.
Right.
Consumer technology is a 3-year cycle. So how many people have an 8-year-old phone?
That don't fit.
Right. Exactly. If you have an 8-year-old phone, it's kind of, you're not keeping up to date.
You're not.
And
Not at all.
I don't care what technology, if it's consumer technology, it's not going to last 8 years.
Right.
So we're able to do fun things that are, very exciting for us and also profitable for our customers, trying to connect the dots for them. And, and then you find things that I'm never going to offer, but, I just learned about yesterday, the smart mirrors. I mean, I don't know if you heard about
Sure.
those smart
Yep.
mirrors. I mean, it's a wonderful new technology. It's really coming from the consumer space. There's new AI coming. There's all kinds of stuff coming with cameras with driver fatigue, but there's some other things coming with driver fatigue based on steering wheel technology and how you're measuring the steering wheel, whether someone's tired. I mean, just all kinds of fun things that are coming. That's what makes this industry so fun. So that's what we love to do, is just find the new, latest technology that's going to make some folks a little more profitable, a little more safe.
So are we going to see it like a Pedigree, like after party or event, the Pedigree IPA, the Pedigree Stout? Like, are we going to see this?
We might now.
We might.
Yeah,
We
perfect.
have we have
I
we have
want royalties on
marketing
that.
with us here, so
I want royalties
remember
on that.
Remember that Pedigree Stout.
Pedigree Stout. I love it. I love it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You had me at IPA. Where can everybody find you guys on social media, online? Where can we find you?
We're on social. We're on LinkedIn. I mean, that's the primary for our business. We tend to be obviously on Facebook and those items too. We're at pedigreetechnologies.com. We've got to change that name right now. We're going to make it a little shorter because it reminds everybody of dog food. So we're a little extra there. We're not doing that.
We don't sell dog.
We don't sell dog food. So we're changing our sort of our story in that we've been around for 20 years, and we have to do a better job as a company to talk about how we can, sort of tailor the solutions for our customers. They all have different needs, so we have to do that better. And that's what I have to talk about that better. So that's what we're really focused on doing, is changing that name. So Pedigree Technologies, thank you for the
And where do people find you individually?
we're at
We're on the other end from you guys.
Perfect.
So
we're not next to the puppy booth, but the aisle 1000. That
Yeah.
with that.
And then
but we're here. We have a
we're in the
big
corner.
Rocco Marrari on
Rock
LinkedIn.
Marrari on LinkedIn.
And
Yep.
John Elsner on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate your time. Look forward
Guys, thank
to
you guys.
chatting with you again sometime here soon.
Always.
And,
We'll be doing something against it.
Oh, I know.
perfect.
All right, guys.
Look forward to chatting again. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming by.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Get you to that, yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Thanks, brother.
grab an IPA sometime soon. And I'll bump this because I can't read some shakes. So I think we have time for a Chris Torrence.
Oh, I think we do.
discussion.
I think we do.
Yeah, thank you. Or
I think we do both. We got
I think
seats.
I think
Both
we
of
should call Chris Torrence and Tom Gold.
Chris and Tommy pull them right in.
Torrence,
We'll do it live.
come on
we'll do it
down.
live.
Come on down. Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
What am
and do
I
it live.
just throwing this on here?
Throw it on, sir. So you got to eat the mic a little bit.
Man, I can hear you guys now.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
good.
buddy.
I like it.
Yeah,
That
buddy.
thing's not loud enough, huh?
We're rolling, by the way. Hey, bro.
Oh, just need a little
You
help
probably need
from.
to put these on, don't you?
Yeah, it would help.
I don't need them.
It'll change your world.
Yeah. How we doing, fellas?
We're doing great,
Yeah,
man.
awesome.
TCA off to a great start, right?
Say
All right.
We
all
just
right.
missed you at Matt's.
I mean,
yeah.
there was only a few people there, so
I
I don't
know,
know how.
I
we
I
missed, like,
saw this
and-
huge cloud of smoke go through Max on Friday,
Yeah.
and apparently that was Tom. Just
that was me trying to.
I was
Get
looking
my way
for
to-
it
a
was
bald
a
guy with a
Ford
beard.
F-250 just smoking through.
Love
the,
it.
You
Yeah.
know, I did realize when I was down there that really the whole bald beard guy. There's a lot of us actually.
There's a couple of you.
There's
I see-
nothing
There's
unique
three of
about
them
me
right
now.
here.
I pretty much see three in front of me. And two are wearing hats. The third
a-
one
For a
is
reason.
not.
It's a trucker thing. It's a powerlifting thing. Everywhere you go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
That's the way it is.
Well, real quick, let's start. Tom, start with you. Introduce yourself. Where you're from. What you do.
Yeah, my name is Tom Curee. I'm the president of QED.
Not
What we
Qued.
do, not Qued, not QED, and not Quaid. I've heard that one too.
Oh, I like
Like Randy Quaid.
Queued, as in queued up. Yeah, I know. Maybe a spokesman for us eventually. But yeah, so we automate appointment scheduling for trucking companies and 3PLs, and so love being able to serve this industry. I've been doing it for 20 years I've been in this space. So Nate Johnson and I go way back.
Pretty much known you for the majority of the 20
You
years.
have, I know.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
were
have
younger
those
then.
conversations a lot. I mean, as Bain's starting to learn. It's
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Now I
okay.
don't know when you cross over to become like living legend. I don't know.
I mean, he's the mayor. That
Yeah,
he is the mayor.
Yeah. I don't know when legend started, but you know, I guess mayor legend. I don't know. Okay.
I like SAR.
SAR.
There you go.
I did. I don't know.
czar.
Oh.
Write that down.
Geez.
Yeah.
That's a shirt.
Yeah,
That's a shirt
that's a thing.
coming.
It's now on the internet, so it's
Yeah.
never coming down. So.
Also, I do need to follow up. So the Randy Quaid thing, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, you guys work in appointment scheduling.
Yeah.
So you have Randy Quaid. Hey, up yours.
There you go.
Lines.
It can all come together.
It can all come together, man.
This
Like,
is
I
good.
I should have done more.
This is free
That should have
marketing.
been my
Pen
thing.
for this napkin, Start writing this stuff down.
I was supposed to have a notebook.
It was, yeah.
Those one-liners. So yeah, fair enough.
Awesome. And then we'll turn it over to Chris. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, this is so random.
I know. Like,
Spontaneous.
we've never done this before.
That's
Yeah.
what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Well, we knew we'd schedule, and I kind of had a feeling we'd go ahead, and then it would be like random people would just be walking by. Well, I mean, I meant to dial in, but we have Monster Energy across from us.
Yep.
And we have the puppy.
That's a
pen.
legit barber shop as well.
It is.
I know.
It is. I'm going to get lined up after this.
And then-
You're due for like a little manscaping.
Thanks, asshole.
To boot on this all, we have booze right next to us. as well.
Yes.
So if we don't have the trifecta going
Yeah.
for us, I don't know what does. And as you walk around, I think it's kind of winding down for the night here
Yep.
now, but as you walk around the conference, this corner is where it's at. When you go around this corner earlier when it was hopping more, it was plugged here. It was,
Yep.
there was 30, 40 people, which in Matt's terms is nothing. But at TCA, 30, 40 people is a lot.
Oh yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, keep in mind, it's I guess tomorrow will be the big day, right? In
Oh,
fact,
yeah.
I don't recall a lot of these events having the expo hall open on like this Sunday. I think I've seen hit or miss where some are like officially on Monday morning. So
Technically, it started this morning. So
yeah, I guess it technically started
TCA
yesterday, right?
Yeah. There's a
My
cocktail
hall
hour.
pass is just doesn't go that far. So.
Yeah, fair enough. I hear you.
So Chris, who are you with? And what do you guys do?
Yeah, Chris Torrence. I lead some strategy for a company called Optym based in Dallas. We are been around the game for over 20 years, right? But I've always looked for my career path's always been about finding hidden gems, and kind of as I've been in the game, like you guys, right, for a bit, wearing like a strategy hat, help lead some of the marketing, get to go to fun things like this, right, which is really me. If anybody knows me, like, yeah, Torrance will probably be at that show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm
didn't have to
embarrassed
ask
by
when I
that
went
or
out, but-
is that a good thing? I'm not sure yet. But,
Gotta be- you
no,
gotta be
Optym, we specialize, as by the name kind of, we're an optimization company and use cases that are, with a lot of resource allocation, assets, so big trucking companies, 3PLs that have some form of, if you care about, how your trucks get utilized, if you believe that AI is more than hype. I like to think that we work with people that are very much aware of the trends that are taking place. So yeah, like you guys have heard me say several times, right? I do think this tech thing, there's something to it, but I'm the more I've been in this space, the more I find the absorption rate, as I've been saying lately, like the industry itself's not ready for everything. So we need to all work to incrementally allow folks to kind of get used to it with some of the newer technology. Right? It is a calculator, right? I say that all the time, but use the calculator, folks. But that calculator can't do everything. That's my point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, agreed.
Well, one of the things that really threw me off was that it sounds like they had a total lineup, and we just got thrown on the end. So they had A-listers earlier.
Yeah,
and then just
I'm a
me and
D-lister.
Chris, right?
No,
Yeah.
hold on.
Maybe I didn't know you were coming. And then
could have been,
all
yeah.
of a sudden, boom.
So we've got, the legendary series, right? And and then we come in, we've got some more contemporary guys, the up and comers. We have VIPs here.
Yeah.
Who you don't need invitations. You just come through when you're in.
Yeah, this
So-
guy can spin it, can he? This is good.
Yeah,
I
and
like
I
it. He
will
made me
say
feel
I
better.
started
Not gonna lie.
with Shepard, Dunn, and Jack Porter. Do
I-
you guys know who those
Oh,
guys are?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't follow.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
legends.
Thanks
Those-
for the gap. I
Yeah.
appreciate the gap between us.
So just that's
You
what
did that,
Rocco
bro.
said. Rocco said I have to follow Jack Porter, and
You
it's
said
like,
his
yeah,
feet,
sorry,
too.
man. We'll clip it out for you so they don't know that you followed Jack Porter. So so just so we're clear, that's who you followed, and then following you, Courtney George. So
Yep.
from
Yeah,
Wreaths
yeah,
across
yeah.
America.
Yep.
So that's day one. So
Great cause. Love Wreaths across America.
And
absolutely.
there may be a big announcement with them coming soon.
Well,
Cannot
I think we're
confirm.
going to skip it out there and say maybe
Yeah,
something's
maybe.
happening.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
It's
Could be a
stay tuned to the interwebs.
Stay
Love
tuned.
that. Love
There's something afoot.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
Very nice.
well, we'll see. So Tom, what is going on with you?
Yeah, you nailed it. Like he really thought that through. He was like,
I dramatic pause.
Dramatic
I was
pause, yep.
contemplating saying Quaid. just
yeah,
because,
just for
why
fun,
not?
right? Yeah.
Just now he's gonna if somebody does that, like up yours.
Well, we're pumped. We've got over 8 scheduling systems connected to us now, and so we are automatically streamlining tens of thousands of appointments for our customers, building it directly in their TMS. So your users, they're not having to jump out and log into a portal. I think we spoke to a group the other day. There's typically 18 steps in scheduling appointments, and we take that down to like 0. So it's a huge time savings. I mean, I started in this industry 18 years ago scheduling appointments. I've just decided I'm going to die in this industry scheduling appointments. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
So,
Or scheduled appointments will die with you.
yeah, that's right. Oh, man, I need that pad of paper. Where's
This
it
will
at?
all be recorded. It's all be
You're
recorded.
just all it's not even recorded. You just go on YouTube, but you have to follow the Driving Forward podcast.
And that's how
Watch
you get a t-shirt.
Gotta-
even though you don't. But
Got to
yeah,
claim
yeah.
that bell,
You
right?
can grab
Yes.
one of these.
Yeah.
Well, don't grab it now because you're gonna block the camera. But you got to take a T-shirt on your way out.
This is what happens when I squat before we do conferences.
Oh wow!
This is
Dude,
what
you're
happens.
squatting all the time. That sounds so nasty. But
I trained this morning before
there
we
you
came to
go.
the function, and yes, so that's what happens. Like, the brain's actually functioning today.
his version of training is 900-pound squat.
It was 8:55. Okay.
It was 8 Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
we stopped
was
it because it didn't move as fast as I wanted it to. So it was 8:55.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Impressive. Wow.
So you are handling all the appointments. There's a lot of appointments out there. I wonder what that demographic is. I wonder what that number is. How many
Yeah,
appointments
no,
are scheduled on a daily basis?
I want to talk to Tom. When I
Yeah.
was my Robinson era, I led
Mhm.
I led a team called Central Operations, which aggregated all of the appointments across the Robinson network, and then we found an
Yikes.
opportunity to make it a revenue stream because it's like these operators are tasked with so many things, and oops, we forgot our appointment. But guess what? It all starts with that delivery appointment time.
Right.
When you work backwards, right?
Yep.
In a lot of ways, right? And people, it's like I tell people, like there's a cost not to being like if you procrastinate, there's only a finite amount of appointments on retail link on Walmart. Otherwise, you're going to get no appointment available. And then what does that do to that? All of a sudden, you tell your carrier, and they're like, "Wait a minute, I was trying to get empty tomorrow morning. I'm not trying to wait, spend my whole day sitting there." And then all of a sudden, you got a tender rejection or give back.
Yep.
So again, I'm just reiterating Tom's point, man. It sounds people oversimplify it, like a lot of things in this industry.
Yeah.
But it's so paramount because as a former operator, I've seen so many things go wrong, all because there wasn't clarification around the appointment time, right? So I'm the biggest challenge we had then was disparate systems, people still faxing. Thankfully they were gravitating towards web portals, but even then you might have like 12 logins that you got. It's a lot. So I love to see Tom's approach.
And they weren't the most stable systems either. So they would go down, and then you got to call the facility, and we all had those recurring nightmares.
Yeah, and it's funny when we launched out to start building this, a lot of people kind of said to me privately, "Hey Tom, like this is cool. I'm glad you're doing this. Glad it's going well. But I kind of thought you would build something that was sexy, like something crazy, something to blow your mind." And I was like, "How about a process that has been exactly the same way for decades and decades in our industry? Like this is it's one of the only places that technology hasn't touched in our business." And so. And it's mainly because it's complex. Like there's a lot of moving parts. You understand some facilities need to be scheduled before another facility. There's reschedules that have to happen. There's multi-stop loads that you've got to be able to calculate. There's so much that's in that. And the reality is you can't build that with a tech company that comes off of out of the West Coast and just says, "Hey, I'm going to fix this."
Right.
You fix it with people who understand the business. And so because we've got all of this experience,
You can't just do a brain dump over 3 or 4 years,
exactly,
and then just get a whole bunch of kids from MIT.
Right. Yeah. It just doesn't work.
Not that I know anyone who would do that.
And so our favorite thing is talking to operations users, because when you get to an ops user, they understand this. And when they hear automation with it, they get terrified.
Absolutely.
But then when they talk to us and they understand, whoa, these guys actually know how this works. They know my pains. They know my aches. Then the light bulb goes off and we hit it wrong.
So that's what he clears. So people said, "We thought you'd build something sexy." I'm just going to throw it out there. I think it's pretty sexy to deliver your freight on time in the most optimal use of hours, and you get to put more freight on your truck. More money is pretty sexy.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
We're gonna need to wrap this one up and make some space here for Courtney George.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Let's do it.
Guys, it's been great. I'm the plan B, C, or Courtney was late. My flight was on time. Apparently.
VIPs.
That's right.
How-
I
how do-
appreciate you guys.
How do people find you guys online?
Q.com.
You go to. I'm a LinkedIn guy, so
LinkedIn
that's usually where
guy.
DMs are
Yeah.
preferred.
Chris Torrance,
Yeah.
LinkedIn. So
Yep, good
reach
stuff.
out.
That's right.
Good
All right.
seeing you.
Nate, Bain, thank you guys, man.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you
Appreciate
next couple days.
You got a fist bump. You can't leave me hanging. So. Courtney.
And now we get to bring on Courtney. You get the pickup seats. However you want to go.
Whatever works.
Super simple, left to right. Biggest thing is just eat the mic.
All right. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Courtney, thank you for joining us.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So we have had a great lineup today. We started with Jack Porter and Shepard Dunn. I don't know if you know Jack and Shep.
Absolutely.
So then we went to Rocco Marrari, and then randomly we ended up with
Chris and Tom.
Chris and Tom, and so we're wrapping up the day with yourself and Wreaths Across America. So if you can, just tell us a little bit about. Well, so first off, I'm gonna intercede a little bit and just say how much I love the organization before you start talking about the organization. So I'm always extremely passionate about it, and I've never really probably joined enough, and I think we kind of opened the door to do so here recently with the Wreaths Across America group, and I'm super excited about that here at GLCS. So we have a lot of people across the country, and this year when we attended, we realized, hey, we have so many people across the country that all want to be able to all work together in various different spaces. And I think there's something cool that we might be able to do there. So with that being said, please tell us about the group, the organization, yourself.
Absolutely. So Wreaths Across America is a nonprofit organization. Our 3 pillars are to remember, honor, and teach. So remember those who are no longer with us, honor those who served, and teach the next generation that freedom isn't free. We have all different types of pillars and activities throughout what we do. We have the transportation part, which I'm the Director of Transportation and Industry Relations. So I work with trucking companies and trucking partners to figure out how we're getting those wreaths. Last year, we did over 3 million delivered across the country.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great because it went to all 50 states, plus like Guam, Puerto Rico,
Oh,
Guantanamo Bay.
Beautiful.
So it's very meaningful for many people, and there's so many veterans in the transportation space.
Right.
They aren't just drivers. A lot of them, served and are now running the office. They run a shop.
They're trucking company owners.
Many of them are trucking company owners. I was talking with Decker this time last year and realized that they are, yellow and red, and it's not for, I'm going to get this wrong, I'm an SEC girl.
Okay. Not
Iowa-
for Iowa State.
Not for Iowa State.
Boo, go Cyclones. No, go Hawks.
But, it was because he was a Marine. So there are those small touches all throughout the transportation industry, and these great stories, that I learned from the transportation side. But we have, our own radio station where we work with different veterans organizations, or just have Trucking Tuesday, which is obviously my favorite. Also the highest listenership day. It's because, trucking people are fun.
Yep. We are.
We are way more fun.
Right.
We're so much more fun. But, we have a K through 12 curriculum that's put out there with over 5,000 lesson plans.
That's awesome.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. It's written by a Gold Star mother and a retired teacher. She's absolutely outstanding. And, the Library of Congress has just picked those up. So it's it's really, we do a lot more than, place wreaths on the second or third Saturday in December.
Sure.
A lot of people don't know that date is approved by Congress.
Really?
Yeah.
Not know that.
Yeah. So it's the whole thing. But we do the most rewarding work because we get to give back and help veterans throughout the year. And that for us is what's really important.
So the giving back, I know I've heard some numbers on this. So when someone purchases a wreath, there's a portion that gets donated back. What's that approximate number every year?
I don't want to tell you that I know that one off the top of my head. That would be better served for me to get from someone else.
I heard it's 7 figures at least.
It just depends.
Okay.
I would say I don't want to be. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But with our $5 back program for purchasing a wreath, that goes back to other nonprofits. And I know to date we've given back over $50 million to other nonprofits.
Incredible.
So whether it goes, to a Boy Scout group, whether they choose the Wounded Warriors, we're doing good by doing good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how that program works is someone can establish their program with you, and then the wreath is purchased, and a portion of that purchase goes to their charity.
Yes. Yeah. You can sign up as a sponsorship group. Through that sponsorship group, you can, as long as you've got a nonprofit, it'll go back. You can set it up to go back to that. And a lot of schools use it, right? It's a great opportunity. Selling a wreath, those kids go out, they learn a lot. It goes back into their community, and then they use it to sponsor, a band, for example, right?
Sure.
You want to you're marching in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yep.
And so that's a great way to fundraise, to be able for that band to be able to, go and it not cost a family an absolute fortune. So it's, there's so many things that you can use and do to give back, whether it's a VFW or an American Legion. There are so many organizations out there that are great and help so many people.
That's incredible. And I know that obviously there's the immediate impact of, where the wreaths are laid and how that honors. And how did you get involved with Wreaths Across America? I
got involved because I worked for a carrier, and I got my carrier involved. And so the company that I worked for, we, started off small and then grew. Last year, I would say they hauled about 14 loads. So I was proud to see them continue to grow.
Yeah.
And just in working in trucking, and it's interesting because the gentleman who was in my role before me said, I get calls from recruiters wanting to know what we were doing because they were trying to hire a driver and the driver wouldn't come over if he couldn't haul at a Wreaths.
Wow.
And I talked and I've said, for me, my retention rate's about 95%. And I lose people solely because they're retiring.
Right.
Maybe they were an owner operator that got rid of their dry van or something, but if I had those retention numbers, I would have worked myself out of a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. I know we were talking with you guys at Matt's, and there's so largely looking to assist at Fort Snelling, largely looking to assist at I think there's an event coming up at the Mall of America.
There's a VSO event this summer at the Mall of America, which will be great. That'll be something that brings a lot of awareness to what we do. We're going to have the radio there. The Fort Snelling is one that has a lot of opportunity. It's so large, and so many carriers because there are so many trucking companies right there in the Minneapolis, Eagan, St. Paul area that want to participate. And so for them, I'm like, I got to get more wreaths donated.
Yep.
So hopefully this is a great opportunity at that event to get Fort Snelling even more than what they already have.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, that would be, I know they need more. So, and I don't think I realized how much more they needed. We work a lot with TA Dedicated, and they were there, and we spoke recently about that with them. So definitely can help push that to that area too. So kind of excited to assist there. So
It's awesome. We're excited to have y'all there. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And with the radio thing, I know it's not an official thing, but we've been kind of floating it out there all day. So we are talking with Wreaths across America about possibly doing the radio partnership with there, where we'll
Trucking Tuesdays and putting this podcast out on there, which is, it's exciting for all of us because I know that as an organization, we're very passionate about what the mission is for Wreaths across America and the people that it serves. And most importantly is making sure that, it brings as much attention as possible to the organization. Whatever comes for us is, and I'm speaking for you, Nate, but I think I speak pretty accurately. Whatever comes to us is what it is. But we want as many eyeballs and as many ears as possible to hear the message of what Wreaths across America is doing. To your point, to get those extra reach to the different locations. And then I talked about this. I think it would be cool because we are spread out as an organization across the U.S. to do a Wreaths and GLCS across America, where we can do this. I'm in Chicago. We have folks in Ohio and in Northern Virginia and the DMW or DMV area. That would be awesome to be able to do that on the same day.
And there are a lot of organizations that do that, and that's what makes one of the many things that makes Wreaths across America so fantastic. Is last year we did over 4,200 locations, and that continues to grow. I mean, that's 500 more than the year before.
Wow.
So how many people help you organize the logistics around that?
We float up to there about a team of 3 of us.
Wow.
And how many total shipments is it that go out?
So last year we did 675 loads. That doesn't include any of the intermodal moves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that goes obviously everywhere, and it's all in a very tight time frame.
It all gets delivered in within a 5-week period. So the intermodals will leave, get there, and then we're really pushing and moving pretty quickly. But I would say there's a 2-week time period that those 675 loads all go.
Wow, that's logistics, right?
It is such logistics, and I tell people, last year was a great year for us. We didn't have the weather challenges that we had the previous year. Mm-hmm. So we were really, really lucky. I know that I'm not going to be that lucky every year. Yep. But you know what? If that's the biggest problem we run into is weather, we're doing great. And the more veterans and more loads that I add, it's just even more deserving souls that are remembered.
Amen to that. Oh man, I'm allergies all of a sudden. Deal with that here in a second.
So Courtney, anything that you want to wrap up here? Anything that we should know in closing?
In closing, if you or somebody wants to participate, know that there's a way that everyone can participate, whether it is sponsoring a wreath, whether it's volunteering to lay a wreath or helping on wreath.
I was thinking somebody was telling me there was something wrong. So
no, you're good.
Yeah, I have people telling me if there's issues with the podcast. So, and then how can people reach you?
Easy. All you have to do is email trucking@wreathsacrossamerica.org.
Trucking@wreathsacrossamerica.org. So,
and where do people find you personally? On LinkedIn, on X?
You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active. If you just search Courtney George, pretty active there. We do have a Moving the Mission, Wreaths Across America - Moving the Mission, and that Facebook page is for trucking specific.
Okay.
So you can message that as well. Like I said, I try to be pretty responsive, whether you email me, message me on LinkedIn. I want to make sure that I get back to people as quickly as I can.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you all for
I hope
having
you have
me.
a great conference.
It's going to be awesome.
It should be. So it's lots of people, 1,500 they said. So,
Yeah.
so much more than last year. So
Absolutely.
700 more. So thank you so much, and
Thank you.
we'll see you around this. So
Yes,
we've got a few more days to go.
Got it.
That's a good show.
It's a good show.
Yeah. I mean, he's knocked out an hour. Like,
Yeah.
blink of an eye.
I think my backside's numb with these little chairs.
yeah. They're supportive. We'll give them that. They can hold us.
They support us. supportive. They can hold us, but they're not comfortable.
No,
at
no, they're
all.
not. They're not.
So we may need to upgrade these chairs and
That could be a thing.
and see how they go. So, but yeah, we'll see. So tomorrow we'll be going live at 2:30.
2:30 Central.
2:30 Central.
Mhm.
We have, and let me see if I can pull up the list of people. So tomorrow at 2:30. Oop, I have the wrong list up. So we'll see if we can get the right list up. But 2:30, lots of stuff going on tomorrow. I think the exhibit hall is only open for 2 hours though.
Yeah, it's
So,
a pretty quick day tomorrow.
yeah, not a long time. It was open 4 hours today,
Mhm.
so it seems like it's winding down, even though it's open for another hour. So tomorrow we have Beyond Trucks, Hans Galand. We spent last night with Hans and team. Great guy. Beyond Trucks is a TMS system. eSmart, Senior Vice President of Sales, Joe Thel. Joe and I go back another 20 plus years.
Of course you do.
So, yeah, of course. So, and then another, maybe I have I have the right one. Venture Logistics CFO, Adam Denton, another person I go back a long way with, probably 15 years. So,
I look forward to when I'm in double digit years with you.
yeah.
Still so early.
Yep. So very, very much so looking forward to that crew, and then whoever else we pull in, because we'll have a chair open the whole time. So
We have friends that are coming in now, like for for all over the industry. So also make sure, please, like, subscribe. If you happen to subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're here at TCA, come pick up a free T-shirt. Just show us that you're subscribed.
Yep, we have lots of T-shirts. I don't want to take any T-shirts home.
Not a one.
So not a one. So come by, grab a T-shirt, talk with us. We have a crew of 6 here. So lots and lots of people. And if you want, turn around and grab a monster and get a haircut, and then go pet puppies.
Exactly.
So with that being said, I think we're going to wrap this one up, and I'm not sure which outro we're going to play. Which outro do you think we should play?
I don't know. It started on its own earlier, but
Did it?
yeah, it did when she was talking about where to find her.
Oh, interesting.
Oopsies.
Well, technology. It's hard.
If only we had a tech company to help us with that.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes. So it's a difficult thing. So, well, we'll play it again. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, drive forward with purpose and innovation. Thanks for watching.